Hey guys, and welcome to episode 59 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from August 1st, 2025, so let's dive in. We start as usual with the balance sheet. Assets coming in at 167. Okay, that's great. That's up 15, almost 16,000 from the previous month. Lovely. Liabilities 17.1. Up $143 in interest. So we'll look at those. That's just taxes that I owe. Interest has accumulated a little bit. I have not started making payments on those, but I did set up a payment plan. I believe it kicks in September. So be it. What happened with the assets? Got a bit more cash. Over $3,000. That's lovely. I really tried to reduce spending a lot, which we'll see on the income statement. But importantly, Bitcoin was up quite a bit, like 10% or something like that. So this is all price appreciation. I did not buy any investments here. I did lend on Kiva, so the balance went up a little bit there. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So most of this is Bitcoin price appreciation. That is the bulk of it. And a little bit of cash, $3,000. Okay, lovely. Let's look at the pie chart of assets. What do we have here? Okay, Bitcoin, the lion's share, 81%. Gold and silver combined at 13%. So between those three forms of money, that's 94% of the portfolio. The other 6% is dirty fiat, most of which is lent out to people. Wonderful, happy to do it. And 2% in cash. Okay, fine. The chart, we got another number here. Net worth over 150 grand. Lovely. We're very close to breaking the record from January of 2022. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's been over 3.5 years. We're trending the right direction. Slow and steady climb. Nice and linear. We want exponential, but it's linear so far. All right. Income statement. Revenues are the same because it's a job. I mean, it's off by a penny. Fine. Expenses, $3,600 less. I love it. How did we spend so much less? $1,000 less on food and beverage, like restaurants and all that stuff. So this was what, the month of July? Less travel? Yeah, less travel. So that's the main thing. It's a lot more expensive to eat when you're traveling, generally speaking. $1,000 less on body and wellness. Contact lenses. And a couple other things. Didn't buy another cell phone. Lovely. I'm gonna keep this one as long as I can. Okay, so that's pretty significant. 1,000. That's the difference right there. All that. So other things have fluctuated. Travel and adventure went up. Okay, it's because of buying tickets for trips I haven't taken yet. Helpful people went down. Okay, didn't pay my accountant, so on. Okay, fine. Didn't buy any investments. 3 months in a row, haven't bought investments. Yikes. Gotta start putting that money away. Gotta start putting that money to work. Statement of cash flows. Operating cash flow. I love it because this negative one from the previous month, no bueno. So living within our means here. Purchases significantly down. Love it. That's what you want to see. Financing. I lent on Kiva. So $200 donation, and then I lent $1,000, but it doesn't. This is just the net outflow of cash. So the other, whatever that would be, $770 was repaid to me, and I lent it out. Lovely. All right, the updates. It's kind of a big month. You'll see in a second. So I'm currently in Western New York. Obviously, you can tell by the background. We'll be here 1 more month, and then going to the Adirondacks for 2 months. As I said a moment ago, I lent $1,000 on Kiva in July. Relationship with body, 3 out of 10. Really bad. If you remember last month, I think it was 8.5 out of 10, which might have been my highest ever. Things were going very well with the body, working out, fitness, eating right, sleeping well, everything. Everything was going really well. and then I broke my thumb 4 days after making the video. So it's a little bit better now. I had a splint on it. I keep a splint on it most of the time. But it's been 4 weeks as of yesterday. And that really sucked. So I broke my thumb playing softball, making a diving catch in the outfield. Yes, I made the catch, but no, we did not win the game. We lost pretty badly, so probably wasn't worth doing that. But that's besides the point. So for the last 4 weeks, I have not played any softball, golf, disc golf. I haven't lifted any weights. I haven't really done the fun things that I've enjoyed for months. I haven't done the things that I looked forward to all summer. I missed the golf trip that I take every year with my father. So really, really sucked. So should be better in a couple weeks. 2 more weeks of wearing the splint and, just rehab, however long rehab takes. And I'll start lifting weights again and get back in everything. So kind of a bummer. In the meantime, I've been walking, jogging a little bit, or rucking most days. So rucking is like wearing a backpack with weights in it, and then you just go for a walk or a jog. So that's pretty much it. That's been my physical activity. So yeah, not ideal, but you got to make the best of it. Relationship with others, 4 out of 10. So also worse than average. Our dog passed away the week after I broke my thumb, so about 3 weeks ago. So our family of 4 is now a family of 3. So that's been tough. And with a broken thumb, I have not been going to Buffalo, have not been seeing my friends on the softball team, have not been playing golf. So it's just been a different month than I was expecting. Relationship with self, 5 out of 10. Feels average at best. So my YouTube series is still done. Don't have a release date for that. Might be September. And I've been contemplating a lot the upper limit problem introduced to me in The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. The upper limit problem. So this idea that we subconsciously have a level of success in our lives that we're comfortable experiencing. And if for any reason we start to experience more than that level of success, whether it's, your body, your finances, your friendships, whatever it is, if you start to experience more than that, you start to do something subconsciously to bring yourself back down. It's an amazing phenomenon. And I learned about this, I don't know, a year, 2, 3 years ago, something like that. And so I've actually had a link to that book in the description of these videos for quite a while. So if you scroll down there, you'll find it. And so I've, for a while I forgot about it, and then I've been thinking about it lately, and I think my thumb is a perfect example of that. Because things were going extremely well, and then it's like I subconsciously sabotage myself. Just phenomenal. I mean, maybe not, right? But maybe. So very interesting thing to think about. So I'm going back to reread that book. I just started a couple days ago. Anyways, how am I thinking, feeling, and doing? I'm thinking about the minimum effective dose. This is another concept I learned years ago. But if there's an effect you want to achieve, it's valuable to inquire or experiment with the minimum effective dose in order to achieve it. So, if you need a vacation, let's say, you might be able to just take 2 days at an Airbnb that's like an hour drive. You don't need to take 2 months off on the other side of the world and throw your whole life into chaos. Like, there's a minimum effective dose to achieve whatever the effect is you want. if you're having coffee in the morning and you want to wake up or feel whatever, you might be able to get that effect in 1 cup. You don't need 5 cups, right? And so on. If you want to stay in shape and lift weights, maybe you could do it at 3 days a week at the gym instead of 6 days a week. You can apply this to anything. If you want to unplug at the end of the day and watch TV, maybe one show that's 23 minutes long is adequate. You don't need to sit there for 5 hours. So if you're conscious about this, you can put guardrails on a lot of things that otherwise are a slippery slope and can cause bad habits. So I've been thinking about that in terms of all the different parts of my life that I'm not trying to optimize at any given time. So if I'm trying to, let's say I'm trying to work out and just lift weights, and that's my number one thing. Well, it's not, so it's a bad example. But anyways, you would take all the other areas of your life and say, what's the minimum amount I have to do on all these other things so that I can put in maximum effort onto the one thing I'm trying to maximize. I'm also thinking about where to have rigid boundaries, which you might call discipline, non-negotiables, and where to have soft boundaries, flexibility. It's another form of prioritization. And in thinking about this, I was also reminded of a line from the Tao Te Ching. When you're born, you are supple and flexible. When you die, you are stiff and rigid. And so anyone who is supple and flexible is a disciple of life, and anyone who is rigid is a disciple of death. It's interesting to think about. So I've been thinking about those boundaries. Like, where do I want hard boundaries? Where do I want soft boundaries? And in what areas of life might there not be any boundaries at all? Where might I actively invite spontaneity, right, and unpredictability, which is a more feminine energy, by the way, and the rigid boundaries is a masculine energy, and we all need a combination of both energies. So it's knowing when each is called for. So that's what I've been thinking about. Finally, what is the situation, or what is the universe asking of me in this moment? So I'm trying to bring that conscious awareness into everything I can, like all day long. I mean, I forget from time to time, of course, but I try to think of this as much as possible. What is the situation asking of me, right? Is it up to me to speak up here or remain silent? Is it up to me to be compassionate or to propose a solution? To be a leader or a follower? Like, what is the moment asking me to do right now? So yeah, I'm doing my best. So that's what I got, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next month.